Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with the Marvel Legends X-Men Wendigo Build-A-Figure Wave Alpha Flight's Guardian. And I'm very happy to have this figure in my collection. I've always been one of those fans of Alpha Flight, even though they've kind of been all over the place. If you guys want to pick this figure up, at the time of this recording, I would say you have to probably check the secondary market or support your local comic shop and see if they have it in stock. As we see here, we have Guardian. Awesome Alpha Flight logo there. Wendigo logo there. Come around. Love the artist rendition there. Very well rendered. Come around. Artist rendition there. Looks great with the fire in the background. Read up, so I'll make sure to close up so you guys can check that out at your convenience. Same with the figures from the wave. Come back around this way. Same awesome rendition there. Nothing on the bottom. X-Men spot varnish on the top. Looks good. So with that said, let's crack Guardian open and get a closer look at him. Here's James Hudson out of the packaging. And overall, I'm happy to have the leader of Alpha Flight. There are a few problems with the figure in and of itself, but overall, just be able to have that tangible action figure from the comics is what makes it exciting. What drives me nuts about this action figure? Let's get him off the stand and let's get a closer look at him. So some quick backstory on James McDonald Hudson. He was created by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. His first appearance was Uncanny X-Men 109 from November of 1977. He is the founding member of the Canadian super team Alpha Flight. Byrne originally wanted the character to be called Guardian, but Marvel rejected it. So Chris Claremont kind of came up with Weapon Alpha and then later Vindicator. Byrne was not happy with those names. So when he was assigned the duties for writing the solo Alpha Flight series, he immediately changed Hudson's hero name back to Guardian. Now, Hudson, he was a leading petrochemical engineer and scientist for the Amcam Corporation. He created a powered exoskeleton suit and learned that his work would be used for the American military. He steals the prototype suit and destroys the plans, which gets him in some hot water. Hudson's girlfriend, Heather McNeil, uses her political connections in the Canadian government to persuade Amcam to waive the charges against him. As a result, Department H is formed. It's a secret branch of the Canadian Department of National Defense, and Hudson's named the head of operations. So inspired by the Fantastic Four, he planned to create a superhero team for Canada. He started out with a prototype team called the Flight, which Wolverine was initially a member of. Now, Wolverine finally gets out in Giant Size X-Men #1, joins the X-Men, and the government says that they want Weapon X back. So, Weapon Alpha tries to capture Wolverine, but that fails, and Hudson just kind of really never went after Logan again. Now, after Alpha Flight and the X-Men, which was Wolverine and Nightcrawler, fought off Wendigo in the northern woods of Quebec, Hudson said that he'd leave Wolverine alone. And sadly, Hudson finds that Alpha Flight was to be disbanded. However, they reunite to defeat this giant beast called the Tundra, and they decide to reform the team without direct government support. Though what's awesome is Hudson and the team retain their security clearances and statuses as RCMP auxiliaries. Sadly, later down the issues, following the death of James Hudson, his wife Heather accepts the responsibility for leading Alpha Flight and eventually the mantle of Vindicator. Now their history kind of gets a little murky after that, but that's kind of the basis of Alpha Flight as I understand it. Now that aside, there's no accessories with this figure, which sucks, but you take it as you can, so we'll talk about the paint apps here. I like the yellow that they used on the eyes here. Has a nice gold look to it. The only thing that kills me though is if you look at the red, I remember when they announced this figure on the prototypes, that was supposed to be a metallic red. And I don't know what decisions went into that just turned it to this really flat red, but it just kind of killed the whole thing overall. That metallic just would have been really, really nice. And of course, because he's Canadian, I like how the suit you know, mimics the Canadian maple leaf flag. You know, he was supposed to kind of be the opposite of Captain America, and he even kind of references that in the comics, which was kind of fun. The white looks good, has a nice sheen to it. The one thing that I hate the most is the multicolored pins. So you'll see like some white and the red, and some red and the white. I don't like that. I know this is an older figure, but still I wish this would have been pinless, and then it drives me nuts that I got paint blotched there, and then it looks like he had an accident back here, so I gotta get a Q-tip with some rubbing alcohol and get rid of some of that crap. That stamp that should have went on the bottom of the foot. But anyway, other than that, the red going down the leg looks good, and this looks how Guardian's supposed to. I mean, I like how he has that big old Mr. Frowny face that just looks good. It kind of has like almost a Batman vibe going on there, and you can kind of see the scowl on the cap here, kind of sort of in a way. Just some nice sculpting there. So overall, the paint apps aren't bad. I just wish that they would have done something more with the red, and then some accessories. I mean, my goodness, would it have killed them? I guess so. So it is what it is. So we're gonna back up. We're gonna talk about the articulation here, and it's not too bad. You can go all the way down that way, all the way up that way. Has a nice rocker going on that way, that way, that way. Lots of play in the head. Arm can go up that way, and always make sure to warm up your figures, guys, because this guy was super stiff, and he still kind of is. But upper bicep swivel there. Double jointed elbow, wrist 360. Hand can go up and down. Can bend down that much. Go back that much. Pivot that way. That far that way. Kicks out that way. Butt flap, as usual, on the Legend figure, stops him. Thigh swivel. Just about a double jointed knee, not too bad there. Thigh cut, foot go up, foot go down, and you got the ankle rockers. So not too bad on articulation. You know, you can get some pretty cool action poses with them. I wish they would have used a different body mold, because we've seen this 1,000 times, and you can always tell because of the hole in the back. But nonetheless, what you get for Guardian, you know, I'll take it. I'm happy. Now, here's another really important reason why you want to pick up Guardian, because when you put him next to the Amazon exclusive Alpha Flight box set, oh, hell yeah. The only one that's missing from this set is Wendigo. Sasquatch. He was a Build-A-Figure, which I have. I just was too lazy and forgot to build him. So we will eventually go over him, and we will definitely be going over this box set, because you have him next to here to Snowbird, North Star, Aurora, Shaman, and Puck. And then, of course, his wife Heather, who eventually took over Vindicator. They look absolutely beautiful together. And if you're an Alpha Flight fan like I am, this is right up your alley. How do you guys plan on displaying these? You know, I'd love to see some of your action figure photography of this set. You know, hit us up on our socials and just let us know what you think of this box set as well as Guardian. I'm happy to have Guardian, Weapon Alpha, Vindicator, whatever you want to call James Hudson. I don't know, he's just one of those characters where you at first dislike him, but as the story unfolds, you get to understand more about him, his relationship with Wolverine, and why he cares so much about Alpha Flight. And this figure, for the most part, encompasses that. I wish that they would have given him some power effects or like a maskless version. That would have been nice. But again, there's Hasbro just kind of shorting you on the accessories. Especially considering the fact that we were supposed to get that nice metallic red, and instead we got this matte, flat look. That's probably my most aggravating one. And the other thing that really drives me nuts about this figure is the fact that the different color pins here. Yes, I know this is an older figure. People have gone over it. But I don't know, it just really takes me out. I wish this would have been pinless. I wish he would have had butterfly joints. But again, all that aside, I'm just glad to have Guardian. So if you guys have enjoyed what you've seen, please, as I said, check out the places that we talked about at the beginning of the review. And speaking of which, if you have enjoyed the review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little flight bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, photo slideshow coming up next. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.